The last bus. It was nearly midnight when Daniel boarded the final bus home. The city had already gone quiet. Most of the shops were closed, and the streets were empty except for a few flickering streetlights. Daniel worked late shifts at a warehouse on the edge of town. Normally, he would take the 10:30 bus, but that night he had stayed late to finish inventory. The bus stop was deserted. A cold wind blew across the road. Daniel checked his phone. 11:58 p.m. Just as he began to wonder if the bus would come at all, headlights appeared in the distance. The bus rolled toward him slowly. Something felt strange immediately. The destination sign was blank. No route number, no company logo. Just an old white bus. The doors hissed open. The driver sat motionless. Daniel hesitated. "Does this go to Oakwood?" he asked. The driver didn't answer. Instead, he slowly raised one finger and pointed toward the empty seats. Daniel should have walked away, but he was exhausted, and the last thing he wanted was a 2-hour walk home. He stepped aboard. The doors closed behind him. The sound echoed through the empty bus. Daniel looked around. There were only 3 passengers, a woman near the front, an old man in the middle, and someone sitting at the very back. All of them stared straight ahead. None of them moved. The bus started driving. For several minutes, everything seemed normal. The engine hummed quietly. Streetlights passed outside. Daniel put on his headphones. Then he noticed something strange. The bus wasn't following its normal route. Instead of turning left toward Oakwood, it continued straight. Daniel removed one headphone. "Excuse me," he called toward the driver. No response. The driver didn't move, didn't even blink. Daniel stood up. As he walked toward the front, the woman suddenly spoke. "Sit down." Her voice was barely above a whisper. Daniel turned. She still stared forward. "You'll miss your stop," he said. The woman slowly shook her head. "No one gets off early." A chill ran through him. What does that mean? The woman said nothing more. Daniel looked toward the driver again. Still motionless. Still silent. The road outside grew unfamiliar. The city lights disappeared. Trees lined both sides of the road. Dark forests. No houses. No shops. Nothing. Just darkness. Daniel's phone buzzed. He checked the screen. No signal. Not a single bar. That was impossible. There should have been coverage. The bus continued deeper into the woods. Then the old man spoke. "You shouldn't have gotten on." Daniel froze. The old man's eyes remained fixed on the windshield. "What are you talking about?" The old man sighed. "None of us should have." Daniel felt his stomach tighten. He walked toward the emergency exit. The handle wouldn't move. He tried harder. Nothing. Locked. Every window was sealed shut. The bus suddenly hit a bump. The lights flickered. For a split second, the interior went dark. When the lights returned, something had changed. The passenger in the back was closer. Much closer. Daniel was certain the figure had been sitting in the last row. Now it sat only 3 rows away. He stared. The figure wore a black coat. Its face remained hidden in shadow. Daniel's pulse quickened. Had it moved? Or was he imagining things? He sat down again, trying to stay calm, trying to think logically. Maybe this was some kind of prank. Maybe the driver was lost. Maybe. The lights flickered again. Darkness. 1 second. 2 seconds. The lights returned. The figure was now 1 row behind him. Daniel jumped to his feet. His heart pounded. The woman finally turned her head. For the first time, she looked directly at him. Her eyes were filled with fear. "Don't look at it." Daniel swallowed hard. "What is it?" the woman whispered. "The last passenger." The bus became silent. Even the engine seemed quieter. The figure behind him remained perfectly still. Daniel forced himself not to turn around. His breathing grew heavier. What happens if I look? No one answered. Minutes passed. The road stretched endlessly through the forest. Then a new sound appeared. A soft scraping noise. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It was moving, slowly, row by row, coming closer. Daniel squeezed his eyes shut. The scratching stopped. Silence. Then he felt something. A cold breath against the back of his neck. His entire body froze. Every instinct screamed at him to run, but there was nowhere to go. No escape. No signal. No help. Just the bus. And whatever stood behind him. The driver suddenly spoke for the first time. His voice sounded unnatural, like several people speaking together. Next stop. The bus slowed. Outside the window, a small cemetery appeared. Moonlight illuminated hundreds of gravestones. Daniel had never seen this place before. The bus stopped. The doors opened. The old man stood. Without a word, he walked off the bus. The doors closed. The bus continued moving. Daniel watched through the rear window. The old man disappeared among the graves, gone, as if he had never existed. 10 minutes later, the bus stopped again. Another cemetery. This time, the woman stood. Before leaving, she looked at Daniel. Her face was pale, terrified. You still have time. Then she stepped off. The doors closed. The bus drove on. Now only Daniel and the figure remained. The scratching returned. Closer, closer, closer. Daniel couldn't take it anymore. He spun around. The seat behind him was empty. His stomach dropped. The figure was gone. A hand landed on his shoulder. Daniel screamed. The driver stood beside him. He hadn't heard him move, hadn't heard him leave his seat. The driver's eyes were completely black. No more stops, he said. Daniel pulled away. What do you want from me? The driver's mouth slowly stretched into an impossible smile. We've been waiting. The bus lights exploded. Glass shattered. Darkness swallowed everything. Daniel ran. He didn't know where he was running. Only that he had to escape. His feet hit dirt instead of bus flooring. Cold air filled his lungs. He opened his eyes. He stood alone on the side of a highway. Morning sunlight shone overhead. Cars passed normally. No bus, no cemetery, nothing. Just an empty road. Daniel stumbled home. Nobody believed his story. Police found no record of the bus. No missing passengers. No abandoned graveyards. Nothing. Weeks passed. Eventually, Daniel convinced himself it had been a nightmare. Until one evening, after work, he arrived at the bus stop. A crowd waited nearby. Everything looked normal. Then headlights appeared in the distance. A white bus. No route number. No destination sign. The doors opened, and standing inside was the old man, the woman, and the figure in the black coat, all staring directly at him, waiting for the last passenger